So, just for anyone watching, I just watched Snyder Cut. Sujit's already watched it, and I'm just gonna give you my opinion on it. It's fairly fresh. I just watched it yesterday, so yeah.
Yeah, both of us. I'll also give my thoughts as well.
Sweet. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so first of all, way fucking better than the first one. What was it called? The Joss Whedon? Is that what his name?
Oh, the first one was called Josstice League. This one is called Snyder Cut.
Right. So Joss Whedon's his version basically it was not that great. Snyder Cut was definitely an improvement for sure.
It is not even the same movie for me. It's like two completely different things.
So a couple of things though, like biggest plot hole that I did not understand is why the fuck did he lose the anti-life equation way long ago, and then they found it again, and during that time he took over 100,000 worlds or however many thousand worlds. I thought that was the most odd thing. Do you have an answer for that one? I don't.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty peculiar thing because there were a couple of things, not just that fact, but also it was also mentioned in the movie that Darkseid, this is the only world, Earth is the only world that he lost.
Yeah, which makes it even more odd. It's like, how did you possibly lose that? Also,
yeah,
there are people that you can just ask. Like, can you ask your commanders, like Desaad or whoever, like, hey, do you remember that one? Like, don't you have doesn't the ship that all the ships that went, each and every single one, I'm sure has some kind of GPS. I don't think you can travel the galaxy without a GPS, okay? You just say like, oh, history, the last place I went. That's it. That's all it takes.
Exactly. And also when did he first realize that he lost this equation? Like if he has been searching for past 100,000 worlds, it would mean that he lost it somewhere at the beginning of his quest, so it means that it's a be fresh in his memory as well.
So dumb. Also,
but that is kind of dumb, yeah.
There was a huge plot hole. I just didn't get that. Number 2. Also, why the fuck did Zeus stop attacking him? That was ridiculous. Ares. Zeus shot, blasted him. Ares with the axe. Awesome. Fairly, I wasn't super impressed with that, but, I get it. He was young, so, he kind of sucked, whatever. But, okay. They do that. He kicks him. The parademon. Okay, all of them have to know that Darkseid is, also, I love that line. That is such a cool line when he's like, I am entropy, I am death. I was like, that is so fucking cool. It's the coolest line ever. Oh, actually, the only thing that topped that was when the Amazons were when Steppenwolf was like, I'll bathe in your fear. And then they were like,
we have no fear.
Oh, yeah, she was like, Amazons, show them your fear. And they were like, we have no fear. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Honestly, I just want more of the Amazon stuff. That is... They have such cool shit. The whole thing where they knock down the tomb and then the entire thing falls in the ocean. What a plan. That is incredible. I want to know more about that. I actually never...
Yeah.
I haven't watched... what's it called? Wonder Woman. Sorry, go ahead. The second one. I haven't watched the second one, actually. But
oh, okay. Yeah, second one is absolute shit. Garbage.
Okay. Okay.
If you want, you can watch it. We can talk about how garbage it is, but it looks like it's something that would be made in the 90s.
Oh, what? Okay.
Watch it. We can talk about it, try to make fun of it in the future. But it's crazy. That particular part, that tomb that falls into the ocean and everything, it was cut out from the 2017 version.
Yeah.
It didn't happen there, right? This whole fight scene in Amazon, it just feels so brutal.
That's true.
With Stephen Wolf, he just looks a lot more menacing.
That's true.
Right off the bat. And also, that particular war that they were talking about, with the Ares and everything, they were fighting Stephen Wolf. They were not fighting Darkseid in 2017 version either.
Oh.
And there is no anti-life equation or anything like that there. So that's probably why there wasn't probably a lot more thought put into like that particular part of the Darkseid's backstory there.
Yeah.
Is what would be my guess. And it's probably much more harder to write that whole story around that particular war, because the kind of CGI that is used in the battle scene, and it's probably be a lot more expensive than 30 million that they put into reshoots.
That's fair. I gotta say, I think that the movie overall was like, it was very like, I don't know how to describe it. I feel like the MCU movies are very like matured in that there's really like, there aren't like super gaping big plot holes typically that I've noticed right off the bat. And
yeah, I'm pretty sure that statement is absolutely not controversial at all, and everybody's gonna love it.
Okay. Well, I feel like at least like if there are plot holes in MCU, which I'm sure there are, I have to think about it. And I'm not like a super expert watcher, but I'm like a casual watcher. And if I can identify a plot hole by the end of the movie, just one watch, just like my first viewing, I feel like that's like a mistake. That's terrible, because if a casual watcher can do that, then it's like, what the fuck? What did you not think of this movie when you were making it? So that's one thing MCU has, like, that's great. Typically everything makes sense, and it's like, some things don't make sense, like Steve Rogers going into the thing. He could have jumped out the airplane. Like, I get that was weird, but in any case, like stuff like that. But I feel like in this one there was a lot of weird shit, like just the anti-life equation. Come on, what is this? How did you possibly lose that? How are you the biggest bad ever and you do that? Also, I feel like Darkseid was reduced a little bit. I don't know too much because I didn't read the comics, but from I watched a lot of the cartoons, and from all of those, Darkseid was a fucking badass, and he was also really intelligent. He was not like just like this groaning or like this like roaring like brute kind of character,
I think that is a fair assessment, but at the same time, I wouldn't really put a lot of thought into how Darkseid is portrayed in this particular movie. Wow. Because I think this movie was supposed to be either 2 parts or 3 parts originally, the way that it was written. Okay. And the first part was just a small introduction to Darkseid, like how Thanos was put into MCU in other movies, and all you saw was a big brute just sitting in a chair commanding people,
That's a good point.
And then he would actually come face to face with the entirety of Josstice League. When they are actually prepared, he would come in and most likely win that battle,
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I think Darkseid wasn't really a point. He was more of something to look forward to for the next installment, but not necessarily something that was supposed to be menacing in on yourself.
Okay, fair enough. It's actually really funny when I heard Steppenwolf's like enhanced voice. I was like, "Wow, that is powerful." His voice is nuts. I was like, "How is Darkseid gonna top this?" But they didn't top it. They made it like the same but different a little bit. But I was like, "Oh, that's funny." They both have insane voices.
Yeah. And also, I think they also gave a bit of a backstory to Steppenwolf as well. Like
that's true.
He's not a cartoon CGI character only. Like the original Josstice League. Like I give absolute zero fucks about Steppenwolf. He didn't look threatening in any other scene that he was in.
That's true.
I didn't really care if he succeeded or if he failed, or like I had absolutely zero emotion throughout the entire movie.
That's a good point. I did feel like in this one, in Snyder Cut, they made a better they took a better shot at making like not you feel bad for him, but like, oh hey, he's trying to do something for himself, like, you know, redeem himself. I thought that was cool. I didn't realize they were family though, because Desaad was like, I think Desaad was like, oh hey, you betrayed your own family, so maybe I didn't know they were related. That's kind of cool, I guess. Or family, like maybe just they're just like they're like on the same team. Maybe not literal family.
Probably. It's probably something that we would have gotten more information on had there been the Snyderverse continued.
You know what's funny? In the last scene, when what's it called? Darkseid was basically like, okay, we'll use the old ways and we're gonna basically, you know, invade Earth. When he was walking back, did you see how slow he was walking? It was incredibly slow. Incredibly. Like, he was taking the smallest steps. This dude's supposed to be like 8 feet tall. He was taking like 1 foot steps. I was like, where are you going? Also, why are you taking such a long time? Also, I feel like, why did you even wait? Why did you had the portal open to the people. Why did you even wait? Why not just jump in there and fucking get to this thing you've been waiting so long for? Anti-life is there. Yeah, they're combined, but they're just going to have more time to prepare, as will you, I guess. But I don't know. I thought that was a little odd, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Darkseid, like you mentioned, right? Like, Darkseid is someone who is also very super intelligent. He's not someone who would just jump into a portal if he sees one.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's true.
He's like, I'm going to plan this. I'm going to make sure I win. He's that kind of dude. And
that's fair.
We saw what happens when Darkseid comes in with fully formed plan during the epilogue of this movie as well.
That's true.
Like, he comes in, somehow Lois Lane dies, Superman turns evil, and he has literally won the battle.
That's true.
So I'm guessing that's how he plans things, you know. That's probably the alternate universe where that happens. And also, I think one thing I really loved actually about this movie is how everyone in that Justice League lineup have something really, really important to do. You know, like Superman would not fix the problem that Cyborg was trying to fix. The mother boxes and everything.
Yeah. That's
Superman
true.
would not be able to fix the problem that Flash was able to fix in the end when the mother boxes united.
That's true.
You know, like, when you watch the first version, Cyborg is literally just trying to separate the boxes with a brute force. You don't know that he's trying to interface with it and trying to communicate, do something.
That is a very good point.
Unity to separate any other shit. You don't know that. You just think Superman. He's just like, Superman, and then Superman comes in and he just separates all three things away from each other. And in another scene, Flash is trying to save one person, and Superman is literally carrying the entire building out. And it's like, Flash is useless, you know. And Wonder Woman is trying to punch Steppenwolf, and Superman comes in and punches Steppenwolf to the next dimension. You know, it's like, what is the point of any of these other superheroes in here?
That's a good point. And it's like, well, shit, you couldn't even fight Steppenwolf. You pretty much Superman's your only hope for anything. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Exactly. In here, it's just like, without Cyborg, you'd not be able to do anything with the mother boxes, because he's the only one who can understand these boxes. And also the fact that they showed all this power from Cyborg in like more visual way. You saw, you know, all the missiles that he could launch with the thought of his mind, and changing the stock market and so on. It's just the visual from this kind of visual from Zack Snyder is just in a completely different league.
That's a good point. I have one other complaint. All right.
Yeah.
Before I give I mean, there's a lot of stuff I liked about it, but I feel like the stuff I didn't like about it is just so much more like, what the fuck? Why did you even do this? Yeah. Okay. Wonder Woman, amazing. I love the fight scene. I actually don't remember the fight scene from the 2017 version. I can't remember what it was like. But her dodging the bullets, fantastic. Or not dodging the bullets, using the thing, using super speed, fantastic. All of it, beautiful. At the end. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. What the fuck did she do at the end? This one guy, she literally she's trying to shoot everyone. She blocks every single one, and the very last thing she does the wrist thing. I have two big qualms about this. Number one, why did you just cause like hundreds of thousands of dollars in property damage and to kill one guy? You just dispatched every single person easily. Why did you do this? It was such overkill. It was just stupid. That made me think like, wow, they really do need they need their own version of the Accords here, because they are literally out of control because they make dumbass decisions like this. Why take out a fucking building, or why take out a floor? Why? Jesus. That was number one qualm. Number two, wait, what is this? Did she have this before? I just don't remember this in the comics, or not in the comics. Like, I know a little about the comics, but like in the cartoons and stuff, I never really saw her doing this shit. What is that? Is that just for the movies, or is that something I'm missing here?
Yeah, I think that was shown in the first Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
When it came out, that was something that was given to her by the gods.
Okay.
That none of the other Amazonians could do, only she could do, because she is the daughter of Zeus. That she has that particular power. So that was something that was, I think, built up in her solo movie.
Okay, fair enough.
As her power, like one of her skill sets that she could do.
I see.
Makes her very different from all the other Amazonians.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, she uses that to defeat Ares as well in that particular movie.
I remember it's like her big move, but
yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, it's all.
But in that particular scenario, I agree. Like, it is completely unwarranted. She has super speed. We saw that. She could catch the bullets. She doesn't have to literally blast the building out.
Yeah.
Also, that particular dumbest villain that I've ever seen in a movie is like, even if it is a small time villain, like, so many problems. First of all, he wants to bring the world back into the dark ages. That is his motivation. So you're gonna do that with the one fucking suitcase bomb, blasting a particular block of city, like, doesn't make sense. And you are doing that in a town where Batman literally exists in the next town over. Superman is in Metropolis. Used to be in Metropolis, doesn't exist in here. But there is one. Superheroes exist, right? Like, these things are there, and you go in and you have to detonate that bomb in front of the people. Like, you could just literally put that underground somewhere and just blast it there. Why do you need to get it through security into that particular building to even do that in the first place?
Also, why even set it on a 1-minute timer?
Why don't you just detonate immediately?
Yes.
As
soon as you're in everyone's dead. That's exactly what you wanted.
And how are you even going to know what happened after you detonate if you're just going to kill yourself?
Yeah.
Back to the Dark Ages. Like,
I didn't even get that. The Dark Ages thing, I was like, that's weird. You're going to need a lot bigger bomb, but okay. But I feel like, I was like, okay, he's insane. He's clearly not, like, mentally stable, because he's doing this, so all right, I'm not gonna, you don't have to be smart to,
Yeah, and also in that particular scene, there is also another scene that was like, it's kind of problematic to me when the little girl was like, I want to be just like you when I grow up, and then I was like, yeah, you can be just like she would die,
Yeah.
First battle she's gonna go protect people, and she's gonna die immediately.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, no. You should tell her you cannot be like me, because I'm literally a goddess, and I'm like a demigod, and you are a human being. You cannot be like me.
Exactly. Yeah. I was literally created. I was not even, I was not even created by the same means as you were created, because I know Zeus, I know Ares. I fought a literal god of war and defeated.
Yeah, I've been
the
training,
god of war.
My name's I forgot her name now, Diana, and I've been literally trained as a warrior amongst other, like, insane warriors for my entire life. So no, you probably can't be like me. I literally started when I was your age. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Try to be like your teacher. Maybe that's a realistic goal. Yeah.
Your best shot. Your best shot isn't even. You can't even be Bruce Wayne. You can't even be Batman, because he's a billionaire. and had like a crazy traumatic experience in his life that set him on this path. You probably don't even have the opportunity to be that. Or I guess you could, because she's at that age, so maybe, but...
It is potentially possible. Batwoman, Batgirl, or whatever. But not Diana. No,
that's true. You know? See, things like that, I feel like the giant plot hole with, like, the Diana thing with doing that unnecessarily, the giant plot hole of, what's it called? What did I just say? Oh, yeah, the anti-life. Just small things like this, I feel like the MCU they have much less of it. Across the movies, I can think of less and less of them. And I feel like that, like, maybe is just like a more mature, or maybe it's because it didn't get passed around from director to director or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. But I feel like that's one critique I have of it, which is fine. You know, I mean, MCU has like 20 movies. These guys have 3 or 4, whatever. So fair, you know, we'll get better over time. That's totally fair. But I'll talk about some of the stuff I did like. Like I said, I just want to know way more about the Amazonians. I guess I haven't watched Wonder Woman 2, so maybe I should do that first. But I thought that was the coolest thing. That was just the coolest line ever. The show me your fear thing. That was so cool.
Absolutely.
That was awesome. I love the fact that they like tanked the entire cliff. That was so cool. That was so cool. I gotta say, I know I'm supposed to say things I like, but I'm relatively unimpressed with the Atlanteans fighting. I'm like, wait. First of all, how is Steppenwolf like beating the shit out of you guys so easily here? This is your terrain. Like, I thought you guys would be a little better. I honestly thought that Steppenwolf would try to throw them up to the ocean or to like the surface and then kill them there. But like he was just, and I was like, wait, is Steppenwolf holding his breath or does he have gills? Because I mean, I don't know. So I thought that was a little odd, right. But I did like how what was her name? Mira? Is that her name?
Yeah, Mira. Uh-huh.
I thought I really want to see more of that one power where she was like sucking the blood out of him for like a minute. You see that? That was insane. I was like, whoa, that is a crazy power. That was like straight up airbending or waterbending from Avatar.
Yeah. She does have that power. I think it is also showed in the Aquaman movie as well. She has the ability to extract your water molecules out of your body.
Oh, really? I don't remember that from the Aquaman movie. Huh.
She does that. You know, you remember when they go to that desert to find something I forgot. Like they jump out of the plane, they go to the desert. And they need a little bit of water source to start all that machine in there, and she takes that water out of Aquaman, Jason Momoa.
I hardly remember Aquaman. I just remember thinking that why the fuck is this guy's head so big? The manta ray guy. Why is the helmet so large? It was weird, but I know that's how it is in the comics, so whatever. But that was super cool.
Yeah, I think the Aquaman terrain and all of that, it's they were so less prepared than Amazonians in protecting that box. There's like 2% guarding that. There isn't anything like no sharks or anything like that.
That's
protecting any of that shit.
That's a very good point. You know, they had the giant Kraken lady to defend
crabs. They have crabs, Kraken, like they have this insanity that we saw in the Aquaman movie. Like why isn't it in middle of all of those creatures? Put it right in the middle.
That's true.
Steppenwolf actually have to fight all these gigantic fucking creatures.
Honestly, you should put it inside of like a giant whale or something. Get him to swallow it. Yeah, just plant it in there. Jeez,
exactly. It's not gonna get destroyed, right?
That's true.
I mean, even do the bare minimum. First of all, the way that the people of the man protected the box. You know, the first Atlanteans, they were trying to put it in Kraken, like the Kraken was protecting the box. Amazon had their own vault protecting it. For the man, they just bury it in the ground.
Oh, actually, that's a question I had because we saw the box was like in the claw or in the tentacles of the Kraken. Wait, what was that about? They like took it out? Why did they take it out?
I'm also very confused about that. Like, I thought they were. I felt like that video was reversed. I thought they were gonna put it in the Kraken.
Yeah.
Why were they
100%.
taking it out of Kraken?
Yeah, I didn't get that either. I thought that was very odd. I didn't really get that. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that is kind of interesting part. Like also, what I was continuing saying is that people put the box in the ground, but Atlanteans, they just created this gigantic pyramid, like a long stick, on top of which this box is put. Like,
Yeah.
if you need to just put it there, why don't you do the same thing, the least thing that the people did? Dig a hole on the ocean surface, put it in there, put some sand on top of it. Don't showcase it like a trophy,
Oh, man.
on a giant stick. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that. That's honestly, they should just at least put it in some kind of animal. Have some kind of animals around it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine, for the convenience of the plot. It would be a lot more longer, this movie, if they put it in a sand and Stephen will have to go and dig up some sand.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
For the sake of Stephen will get the box. That's the point.
Yeah. I gotta say, I love the new Steppenwolf armor and the fact that it bristles and he'll do something and it tightens up and it breaks the arrows from it. That's awesome.
Exactly. It looked like destroyer armor from the first Thor movie.
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, that's very true. That's true. I love that. I did love seeing Darkseid on, because I feel like Darkseid is crazy. Okay, I should look up if Darkseid. I'm sure Darkseid has been defeated, but I swear to God, every time him and Superman, I feel like Superman does these crazy moves on him, or whoever he's fighting, just absolutely demolishes Darkseid, and then Darkseid just comes up, hands behind the back, and just defeats him somehow. I'm like, what the hell? How? This dude does not get damaged at all.
Yeah, exactly. I think we saw a little bit of a flashback on that one. I think during that there was this one particular scene, right, where Darkseid is there on Earth and Wonder Woman is dead and he's fighting with the Atlanteans on the water, and he's just shooting his laser beams and everything. It just looks absolutely great. I would love to see a movie just based on that, defeating everyone one at a time.
That's true. That's very true. That was such a cool scene. That's the thing, right? That's if the mother boxes had been combined. Oh no, that's the alternate timeline, right? That's the timeline where also got a big shout out to Barry for changing time, or being able to reverse time now. That's pretty crazy.
He did that twice. Actually, there was 3 instances where I think we were close to doing something like that, but he did it in one instance. That last instance where he realized world has been destroyed, he does this, and then he's like, I'm sorry, whatever happens, and then he runs faster than light to reverse time. That is obvious one. He saves the world. But I feel like you are confused about what are the other 2 times when shit happens.
Okay, wait. So I know he definitely reverses it when first when the cube is dropping.
Yeah.
Second when the cubes are all the cubes are about to fuse. But when's the third time?
Third time he doesn't do it, but he's about to. The third time is when they are all fighting Superman. Remember that with the statue and everything.
Oh, when he raises his hand.
Yeah, I see that. First time I was like, that is a dumb. You can't just stop that, Superman beam with your hand. Then I realized when I saw the end scene, he was like, he does this, and then he's just phases through and goes through a time to protect everyone, save himself, and protect everyone else.
Yeah.
I like that. And then I looked back at that scene, and that's exactly what he was trying to do. If he would start shooting the lasers, he would phase through and then reverse everything.
That's a great point. That I was thinking when he did that, I was like, that's a very. I remember when I think when brown parents will beat you. That's you put your arm up like this. I don't know if that's
That's similar thing that I thought as well. But looking at the last scene, you'd feel like that's exactly what he was trying to do. He was like,
okay,
just trying to phase through to make sure that because he has that ability to kill the Superman by just going back in time for the last few minutes, and Superman would be back in the water.
That's funny. That's true. Oh yeah, that's so funny. I just thought, oh, that's funny. Hey, I used to do that as a kid. but oh, makes total sense. Yeah, that's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool. I love that he's getting more like. I'm glad that I guess it's the same thing what you said about everyone's doing something unique, because the Flash is so they have to dumb him down, otherwise like he just can beat everyone. So yeah, feel kind of bad for even. Okay, also Batman using guns is less appealing to be honest, which is fine. I mean, I get it, but the Nightcrawler using the Batmobile, that stuff is sweet. Him using guns is but whatever. Honestly, the person that's most useless person I feel like thus far in the Justice League has been Diana. To be honest,
which is crazy, right? Like she is insanely powerful in on herself.
Yeah,
but her powers gets diluted in this version of Justice League because you say that her strength is her super strength. Then both Aquaman, Cyborg now, as well as Superman can do the same thing. Superman probably is much more stronger.
Yep.
The lasso, it didn't work on Superman. So what is he gonna do with that lasso?
You know what? I take that back. Wonder Woman is not the most useless one. It's totally Aquaman. Totally even forgot he was there. Yeah, no, 100%. Aquaman is the shittiest character in the Justice League, without a doubt. He is.
Yeah, I think
terrible. Yeah.
For this particular iteration, I think if we ever get to continue this, and I think the next movie that is supposed to be in DCEU is the Flashpoint Paradox with the Flash. Have you watched that movie?
Yeah, that was awesome. Like the Amazons fight against the Atlanteans.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Then I feel like if something like that happens, then we'll probably see the true power of Atlanteans, and Aquaman probably has all that powers combined on himself.
That's a good point. I think the Atlanteans are super cool, and I think they're very powerful. But when you just take out Aquaman and they're fighting on land, it's like, not too effective. Also, you totally got your ass kicked by Steppenwolf in the water too, so that's also a little disappointing. But whatever, right. I don't know. We'll give you another shot. But so far, you kind of suck. Even Diana's doing better than you. Oh, also, when Superman came in, and I in this one, in the Snyder Cut, I was really hoping that Superman wouldn't absolutely dominate Steppenwolf. And he did. I mean, fuck, he blocked it with his shoulder, and he said he wasn't impressed. And I was like, all right, you know what? I hate this because that your clothes didn't get damaged at all. All right, fuck you, because your clothes aren't. This isn't. I mean, I get it. The suit is like Kryptonian, whatever, but come on. You didn't even your cape. Why do you even have capes anymore? Capes. Remember in Incredibles when Edna was like, "No capes, they're dumb." I could not agree more. Why the fuck do we have capes anymore? But whatever. Yeah, that was crazy. Blocked it just with the shoulder. Oh, I'm not impressed. I was like, oh man, I wish you weren't like so much more powerful. It just makes it completely boring to watch. No.
Yeah, I think I'm the opposite on Superman's viewpoint there. Like, I love that Superman is so insanely powerful.
Okay, fair enough.
I just love seeing like that real Superman strength that we saw getting just put down on Steppenwolf. I love that shit. It's just like, give me more of this. Like, inject it directly to my veins. I'll take that every single day.
That's so funny.
It felt like, have you played Injustice?
I've seen people play. I haven't played it myself.
Yeah, there's this Superman's move. He does similar to that in this movie. He's like punches Steppenwolf. He goes to the fucking orbit and comes down and demolishes the guy. Same thing happens in the game as well.
That's so funny. I mean, I get it. It's like it's a bit of like giving the viewers what like a little bit of his power, which is awesome. But it just it automatically, and like you said, the Snyder Cut does a way better job of giving other people like, hey, no one else can turn back time, right? No one else can interface with alien technology or apocalyptic what do you know what I mean? But so that's great. But the characters that have less things to do, like Aquaman and Diana, totally just make them totally boring now. It's like either Clark has to be scaled down or they have to be scaled up. Like now they're just going to depend on for anyone stronger than Steppenwolf or as strong as Steppenwolf, they just got to depend on Superman. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, I think that is exactly why their next move or all the flashback and everything, we saw the biggest villain is the Superman.
That's a good point. Yeah, now they can't depend on
because as long as he is with you, there isn't any threat that he can't This is his base level powers. We haven't seen him actually dip into the sun or anything like that, He hasn't done any other crazy shit he can actually do. This is like base level Superman, and he can defeat someone like Steppenwolf, who was able to completely fight off Amazonians, Atlanteans, and is the one who conquered 100,000 worlds. And Superman comes in as not impressed.
Yeah, that's true. It's so funny to me that if Clark, if he wasn't, or if all of Kryptonians weren't dead, right? And if honestly any number of them, if they weren't dead, if they just realized that if they got into if they just had access to a yellow sun, they would all be literally the most powerful beings in all of DC. But it would be an army of them. Or a civilization of them. And what the fuck? That's insane. That's insane.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I think there are probably a lot of storylines surrounding that as well. There is Superman Prime 1000, some crazy Superman stuff.
Yeah.
Superman storyline. They get more and more powerful the longer they live. It's kind of insanity how powerful Superman is.
That's true.
But that is, I think, that is the only place that DC can go with the Superman is just turn him evil. I don't know. Well, you mentioned you haven't played Injustice, so or there is also a comic, version of it as well. The storyline. Okay. The reason I played Injustice is for the storyline mostly.
Right.
Because that is the storyline where Superman turns evil. This is that plotline that they showed is in the alternate timeline where Superman.
Yeah.
Is dark.
Yeah.
That is the Injustice storyline. And it happens slightly differently, but they also hint that in the epilogue of this particular movie, when Joker says, why did you send Boy Wonder to do a man's job?
Right.
That
I actually didn't get that, to be honest.
Yeah, so Boy Wonder, meaning Robin, who dies. It's not in Injustice, but Robin is sent to do a certain job, and there are a lot of different stories around this. But
he was killed.
In one of the storyline, he's killed. In one of the storyline, Joker kills Robin with a crowbar, just beating him to death.
Right. I remember that.
That's when Superman, Batman turns really violent. That's a different storyline.
Right.
But in form of the Injustice one, when you are saying, Boy Wonder to do the man's job, I feel like he's referring to, we see in another scene where Lois Lane is dead. Superman is in his knees. Darkseid comes to Superman to console him or whatever.
Right.
So Lois Lane dies. Superman is in absolute pain. We see in this movie Lois Lane is pregnant. And so most likely Lois Lane dies with Superman's child is still in Lois Lane. So he loses two people.
Right.
Lois Lane and the baby.
Yeah.
And this is the exact same storyline that happens in Injustice storyline.
Oh.
Is that Joker tricks Superman into killing Lois and the baby that's inside Lois.
How does he trick him into doing
that? I think he thinks that they are someone else. And
wow.
I forgot exactly how it happens.
Yeah.
But he tricks Superman into thinking that they are someone else, and then he kills them. And then when he realizes it, he goes to talk to Joker. Absolutely furious. He's completely clouded in his judgment. He goes there. And he literally rips... Batman is there, trying to talk Superman not to do anything crazy. And then he literally rips Joker's heart out of him. And then that's when he's like, I'm not gonna let any of this shit happen anymore. And he turns to be a dictator of the world. It's like, the rule is me, I'm your god. Whatever happens in this world happens directly under me. And he just is ruling the entire planet from that point on.
Jeez.
So, and everybody, they try to get the Superman from the alternate universe to stop this Superman because he's just getting completely insane. He's rounding up all the superheroes, supervillains in a jail cell and executing them. Like, there is no courts, there is nothing. It's just like, put them in a cell, kill them one at a time.
Holy shit. Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah, so that is the storyline they are going for in this one. But this one, Darkseid has a lot of role to play in this to get there.
Wow, that's incredible.
So I think the alternate timeline that they were showing there.
Yeah.
I think that timeline, it's just my personal theory, is that timeline Superman turns bad and all this crazy shit happens.
Yeah.
And their only solution is to bring this Superman from this world that we are following along.
Yeah.
Bring that Superman there to fix shit up, to take care of that Superman. And fight Superman versus Superman.
That'd be so cool. Oh, wow, that's interesting. That's true. Huh. Well, I mean, shit, they've already introduced time travel, travel between two kinds of realms or whatever. Or I guess that is more time travel, actually. Because I was thinking of Barry traveling to Batman and saying, hey, Lois is the key.
Yeah, exactly. That happens in the Batman v Superman. It's like, hey, Lois is the key. You have to protect her or whatever. So that is what exactly that they showed in this Justice League. It's like, Lois Lane is dead. And that's why Superman turns evil. So Barry goes back in time and is like, hey, am I too early? You need to protect Lois Lane because Sid's crazy in here.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, they've introduced a lot of content. Like I said, they're trying to seed like the DCU and make it like that. They are... I imagine Darkseid is the equivalent of Thanos. MCU definitely had a lot stronger of a base. They had like a ton of movies, and then they developed each character really well. DCU is kind of just throwing it all in. As long as they catch up at the end. Yeah. Yeah,
I feel like definitely they are trying to build up, Thanos Darkseid parallel, but Thanos is the one, like in comics wise, Thanos is the one that is copied from Darkseid for the Marvel comics.
That's fun.
So Darkseid came first, and Marvel was like, we can do something similar, and so they came up with Thanos.
That's funny. Well, they did it better, at least on the movies.
in the movie, definitely. And I think in terms of also power level, like Thanos does not really compare to Darkseid. Darkseid is a multiverse threat.
That's
Thanos with the Infinity Glove, as at best, is a universe level threat.
That's fair.
There is no comparison in the power level.
Yeah, I mean, today, like in the movies, we don't have a character that's even nearly comparable to Superman. So, the best character we would have is fucking Captain Marvel, and she sucks. So.
Exactly. So I mean, they don't. That is why I think the MCU works much better because, like you mentioned, Superman is very overpowered. So as long as Superman is a good guy, then there is no problem that can be solved. And
that's good.
Here is a great parallel that I've heard between Marvel and DC. The biggest difference between MCU, DC, or just Marvel Comics and DC Comics. In DC, all the superheroes, they are gods trying to be men, right? And in Marvel, it is all men trying to be gods, So that is the biggest difference between like Tony Stark, man, trying to create suits to fight against gods.
Right.
Captain America, like all of these characters that we follow along. Hulk, dude becomes a Hulk, fights against gods. And Captain Marvel, same story. Whoever you pick, most likely they would have similar story, except Thor maybe. He's a god. Comes down to become a man. But if you look at on the DC side, you have Superman, who the imagery that you see on any Snyder movie is just like this. He's a Jesus, like Literally every movie is doing this at some point in front of a sun.
That's true. Yeah.
So I don't know what he's trying to tell, but it's clear what he's trying to tell. Wonder Woman, another goddess in the world.
Yeah.
Then there's Aquaman, who is a god in his realm.
Right.
And Cyborg is a little god for the machines and computers and all of that stuff. And Batman is probably only human who is trying to be the god, just like Tony Stark.
That's true.
But it's just a completely different angle both of these come from.
That is why point.
That is why I feel like Marvel works better on the big screen, because we relate to this character much better because they come from a similar background as a lot of other human would come from.
That's a good point.
Like, first time I saw Wonder Woman, first vision, like, I wouldn't relate to any of this shit. It's like, I'm seeing this Amazonian do some crazy shit. Like, there is nothing I can relate in that one. Until she came to the real world, I was like, okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
It's much better.
That's hilarious. No, that's a great point. That's a really good point. I feel like one thing also that Marvel has taken they're like a little bit more lighthearted. There's not as much blood. It's not as dark. But DC it's like clearly much darker, much more moody, it's a lot more dramatic as well, I feel like,
Yeah, I feel like this is how I see this. With Marvel, it is a lot more lighthearted, and definitely it feels lighthearted, but and moody is what DC is mostly known for. But that is what it is, right? Like, DC is great. DC would have been amazing to me when I was, when I was in college or when I was a teenager.
Yeah,
I would have looked at DC movies and I would have gone like, man, this is crazy dark, and I just relate to this so much because my mentality was so different back then, because that is what I thought being deep and dark was. It's exactly what DC captures perfectly for me. Like, if I go back in time to my mentality, I would have considered this top class. But as I've grown more and with the family and gone through that different phase, when I look at things that is shown in MCU, I feel like those things are much more, mature kind of thing that they tackle there, but they tackle in such a way that it doesn't feel like it is very, depressing or moody or anything. Like, for example,
that's fair.
Looking at the story of, Thor in itself is very sad.
That's a good point, yeah.
I relate to a lot of Thor's perspective in Endgame, because I was in a similar situation in life at some point, and completely depressed. Yeah, just completely depressed, sitting down and trying to forget whatever have happened, and just being in a completely dark place. And I had no idea if things like, should I even continue living, or am I worthy of being in this place where I'm at? And when there's this endgame scene when he goes to Asgard and he, the Mjolnir, it comes to his hand and he realizes that he's still worthy. It's just something I think a lot of people would relate who have gone through like depression and all these phases. They realize that it doesn't matter, what do you think of yourself? You are still good enough, worthy enough to, continue going on.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's a fair point. I did not think of that. I did not like that scene. That's another rant. It's another rant for another time. But
right, yeah, for me, that's really resonated to me. It's like extremely dark theme that a lot of people would have gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Would really resonate with that kind of situation.
Fair enough.
And even things like what Tony Stark goes through, it is something I have done in my past as well. Like, I was a very serious person before I went through anything serious in my life, and when things started to get terrible and bad and so on, I started to do a lot of things that are very jokey, and I started to take things very, very light, and I started to do try to be funny to hide the actual emotion that I have, and that is something that we see a lot from Tony Stark as well.
Yeah.
That he tries to hide all his pain and so on with the humor that is not there for himself.
Mm-hmm.
He is very deeply disturbed character, especially like the death of his parents and so on. Like those are not easy things to tackle, and they could like Marvel could go really really dark there.
That's a good point.
But they understand that you don't really have to. Like, it doesn't have to be more painful than it already is. And I think, I feel like a lot of people who have actually gone through a situation like that would probably relate to this, like, in a completely different level. And I haven't seen a DC movie that would handle something similar in like similar manner. They will like just like try to show it on the screen, just try to hammer it with you, like just feel sad for Bruce Wayne. Their parents died, 5 times on the screen.
That's a really good point, actually. That's like you're saying that they definitely handle heavy topics, but they do it in such a way that it doesn't go too deep. Like you can resonate with it, but also you can get pulled out of it, and then they're back on the relatively lighthearted material, but they still dive into some serious topics just enough you take them seriously. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Exactly. All the themes that I actually take away from MCU, they are like, I take away a lot of heavy-handed themes, but at the same time, I can just go in there just to laugh it out, if I don't want to take any of that shit seriously. Like even Guardians of the Galaxy, which is one of the best MCU movies out there. It's like funny all the way, right? Like it is very comedic, and a lot of people would just take away that it's a funny MCU movie and so on. But it starts out super dark. You have literally a 10-year-old looking at his mom dying of cancer, and he cannot comprehend that his mom is dying. So instead of facing the reality, he runs out of the hospital in the last moments, and his mother has to die alone. The child is not there, trying to hold his hand.
Holy shit.
And he just runs out. She dies alone. He goes out. He regrets that for next 20 years of his life, that he wasn't there to hold his mother's hand as he was dying.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you're right. I did not think of that.
And we see all of that come into head during that end battle when he is with all the Infinity Stone power. Everybody's there, and he just finally sees his mom asking for the hand, and he finally accepts. Okay, this is what my mom was trying to say. So he just does that and holds everybody's hand and accept that he did something wrong back then.
Oh wow, I did not remember that whatsoever. But wow, yeah, you're right. Good point. Jeez.
But yeah, I mean, it's like very very heavy themes that was handled in that movie. It's kind of crazy.
Holy shit! Yeah, you're right. That's crazy. Wow. Well, I mean, shit. Like I said, that's a great point. I guess it just supports my point more. Where MCU is just, I feel like they just make better movies thus far. They've had so much more experience with it. I feel like they're killing it. Yeah, I'm excited for DC to have maybe the same thing, except they're like more obvious or in your face about the darkness or whatever. Find their own niche. I don't care. If we get two, superhero franchises, I'm a happy customer.
Yeah, I think DC is just trying to create their own 4 different franchises because we have 3 different versions of Joker right now going on at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
There is Joaquin Phoenix Joker that is in a separate universe. There is Jared Leto's Joker, and there is this alternate timeline Joker that is just like, truce, Bruce. Some kind of Joker that exists.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't get that. I saw that he had the card, and then in the one where he's holding Superman's holding Batman's head, we see the card ripped in half. So Batman broke a truce, but a truce of what kind? Don't get that.
Yeah, I think we'll probably go more deeper into that, but there are probably a lot of comics that relates to.
Yeah, they've laid a lot of eggs, or they've seeded a lot of things. So of course, I'm excited about what this is a foundation. I'm excited for the house. So yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know if this is gonna go anywhere because they've already cast what was his name, the Twilight guy. as the new Batman.
Also, that fucking trailer looked amazing. So, but I can't do it though. I cannot watch another fucking Batman parents killing scene. Please, no more Batman origins. Every single person and their mom knows how Batman was fucking made. Please, God, no more origin scenes of Batman. We've had so many. Way too many. Like TV shows, movies, cartoons, everything has shown Batman's origin scene. We all get it. They should just skip over that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's we have seen that. Like, how many times have we seen it? I don't know if you have watched the original Batman with Michael Keaton.
Oh no, that one I have not watched. That one's way too old for me.
So we saw that. We saw them die there. Then there is Batman death in what was the?
There's the original trilogy. You see it.
Yeah,
there.
with Christian Bell. We saw them die there.
In the movie,
we saw them. Yeah, we saw them in Gotham, and we saw them die much more slowly in the Batman v Superman.
You see it in what's it called? The Joker with Phoenix.
You see it in the Joker as well. Another slow-mo death.
Yeah.
There as well. So 5 times.
Yeah, at least. I'm sure there's more.
At this point, if you just skip, like it's like, dude, come on. You know, MCU understood that you don't need to show killing Uncle Ben every time there is a Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know which one is. I would say Batman's even more popular than Uncle Ben, but like I feel like with Spider-Man and Batman, every single person knows Uncle Ben.
Every single person knows.
Yeah.
MCU understood that so nicely. Like the first time we see Spider-Man in MCU, he's in a full Spider-Man costume. You know?
Yeah.
Nobody need to go over the backstory that he was bitten by a radioactive spider or any of that nonsense. You know, it's just Spider-Man. Take that for granted. People know who he is.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Everybody knows who Batman is. You know.
That's true.
So yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's very weird place for DC right now because fans were really excited about the Snyder Cut, and people go crazy sometimes. You know, they got what they wished for. Snyder got to finish his vision, and I'm really glad that he did. He had a story that he needed to finish, and then the tragic thing that happened with him that he had to go and take some time off because, you know, I don't know if you know this, but his daughter killed herself, and then he had to go and leave the project because of that.
Oh my God. Jeez.
And yeah, so, and then he finally, you know, got to come back and finish the project at the very least. And
wow. That is horrible. Jeez. Well, dang.
Yeah, so it's you know, I'm really glad. And at the same time, you know, I feel like a lot of fans, or I don't know if they are even fans, but people are like very happy that this came out, fine. But now the next demand is revive the Snyder verse or something, like keep going this universe forward, moving this universe forward. And they're trying to review bomb things like Godzilla versus Kong because they were trying to put pressure on Warner Brothers. Absolute nonsense. You know, people be happy with what you got. You know, I'm really glad we got this movie. I don't really, you know.
That's a good point.
Zack Snyder got to finish what he started.
Yeah, man. That is a horrible, man. I hope his family is doing all right. Jeez, that is insane. Yeah, that's a good thing that he got to finish that. That's crazy. Did not know that. Wow. That's crazy. That took me for a spin. I did not expect that. That is nuts. Yeah, wow. But yeah, that was, I mean, he did a great job. Joss Whedon, his version was, you know, underwhelming to say the least. So yeah, that's true. I wonder, so are they going to be doing, is this like another timeline? Is Joss Whedon's another timeline? Something, what are they going to do? I don't know.
I think they mentioned that this particular movie is not canon, and Joss Whedon's version is canon or something like that.
Whack.
But I saw today I watched Film Theory. Do you watch that series on YouTube?
Film Theory is great. I used to watch a lot of his videos. I actually I haven't watched a lot of his videos lately, but yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you should probably check it out on this this particular one. It says that the Zack Snyder canon is probably same canon as the Whedon's Cut canon.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is just a sequel to the event that happened in the original Justice League movie. And there is a whole theory around that in there. It's the fact that this is the happy ending to the terrible ending that happens in the original Justice League. Because...
What's the original? Wait, what happens at the end?
The Joss Whedon's Justice League.
What happens at the end?
Similar set of events happen, right? But the difference between that and this one is the fact that there are lots of things that are very different. In that movie, if you watch it, you know that at one point Barry Allen tells that, he hasn't fought through any of the battles. He just really push the people and then run away. Yeah. And Batman tells him, just save one person.
Right.
Just save one person out of here. And in this Justice League, Barry Allen knows he can travel through time. He has done some shit,
Right.
So the theory is that whatever happened in that particular set of events is the one that caused that whole epilogue scene that we saw in this particular movie.
Okay.
That epilogue, all that scene in that epilogue is the direct result of that particular scenario that happened in the original Justice League. They defeat Steppenwolf. Darkseid isn't mentioned anywhere, so they are not they don't even know Darkseid exists in that universe. So Darkseid finds out Steppenwolf died. He comes and takes over the planet, turns Superman. Lois Lane is killed.
I see.
Lois Lane is killed, and then Barry Allen goes back in time to that BVS Superman, Batman, to warn him that Lois Lane is the key.
Okay.
And then the Batman, they are all prepared, like he is prepared in this new version of Justice League. Is like he's trying to prepare for all of that situation to come through, and he's like, we need to prepare. We need to form our team. This shit is coming out from a different world, so he tries to prepare for all of that, and they are much more fully prepared with a fully powered Barry Allen. He's the only one who will remember that he has traveled through time and all of that. So that is why in this version of Barry Allen, he is completely aware of all the fights he have done in this alternate timeline because he has already gone through this shit.
Oh, interesting. Oh, okay.
And so terrible ending happened, that epilogue and all of that scene, and they make Barry Allen travel through time, go back to this original point, and make everything in a completely different chain of events. And things happen and in the end, they defeat Darkseid. They know Darkseid is coming. They are much more prepared for the next fight with Darkseid.
Oh, well, shit. I hope that sounds really cool. Yeah, I hope they do that or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool theory. So check it out.
I will. That sounds pretty cool. Actually, what that reminded me. Whenever he hit the ground, both Steppenwolf and Darkseid, whenever they hit the ground, first of all, why did they just reuse that footage with a different character? They just straight up reused the whole hand thing with the ground. And I was like, what the hell was that? But whatever. Anyways, when they did that and they had that giant symbol. Does that mean is that the anti-life equation, or does that just mean that it's what does that mean? I think it was in the comics or in the cartoon one time Lex Luthor, he went into the hole or into the wall, the source wall, came out with the anti-life equation. It was just this ball of light in his hand. But I was like, wait, what does the anti-life equation actually look like in this universe, in the cinematic one?
Yeah, it looks like it is that hieroglyphics or whatever it's called in the ground. That is the anti-life equation.
Okay.
I guess that is what it is in this particular version.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not completely aware of the anti-life, equation scenarios or things like that, but it is definitely to think about it. I think whatever it is, it doesn't in the end. It probably doesn't really matter much, like how it looks like or where it comes from
Yeah,
or
I guess
anything like
so.
that. I feel like anti-life is more like ideal rather than particular things like Infinity Stones gem that Thanos was collecting.
The
It is more
ultimate
like
prize. Yeah, that's
exactly.
fair.
This one is more he's fighting against an ideal versus fighting against something more material,
That's fair.
like Thanos was fighting. So for me, like it doesn't really matter
Whenever
what it
they
looks like.
whenever they do stuff like when they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll take the mother box and you know dip it in the Kryptonian juice in the ship." Whenever they do that stuff, I always think like, "Wow, what if it just didn't work? Like, what if they dropped it in there and nothing happened? They're like, oh fuck, now what?" I just think it'd be the silliest thing ever, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. Then the movie wouldn't exist.
Yeah. But it's like, how did you know this was gonna work? How did you know that this is gonna, you know, you had to do all this stuff? But
Yeah, exactly. And I think, oh yeah, and also that Death of Superman, I think it is handled a lot more better in this one than the BBS one, where when he dies, he screams, primal scream. That is what awakens the mother boxes and Steppenwolf and all of that. Like that, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, they showed that a lot clearer this one. Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. Yeah. But I prefer the Death of Superman animated movie a lot more. Still, like Batman v Superman, Death of Superman is absolute garbage. It's I hated that movie because 3 major storyline in one single movie. How stupid is that? You could literally milk that for 3 movies. One just for Death of Superman. Doomsday comes along and fucks everything up, and Superman dies. That is a single movie in itself, you know. Man of Steel Part 2, Superman dies. And then Batman v Superman, that is a completely separate movie where they fight because they have a difference in ideology. That is a completely separate movie in itself.
But then it ends with them having the same mother's name.
Exactly. I mean, if it was still written and directed by Zack Snyder, like Martha. If they would have named Darkseid Martha, then Batman would be like, dude, you're just like me.
That's all good.
Mother, and they would just give everything up.
Everyone should change their name to Martha, and then Batman will give you a free pass.
Exactly. Yeah.
Every villain in Gotham is now named Martha.
Yeah.
Batman retires.
Batman retires. Yeah, exactly. At least, I think like if once there's something like this comes up and we get like solo Batman movie, if it was something like MCU, I'm pretty sure we would see some villain going like, my mother's name is Martha.
Yeah, that would be so funny. Oh my god, that would be the best.
Yeah, Batman will like, fuck you, I'm past that.
That's so true. Oh my gosh. I feel like they could never do that because DC is just too serious. Oh, exactly. That's so funny.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it was MCU, they would have that scene because
that's
they do things like this. It's just like they are self-aware of situation like this. I don't. You saw that Zemo dance in the last episode.
I see.
They were in that party scene, and then Zemo was dancing, and everybody is like released the Zemo dance, and Marvel they released a Zemo dance cut for 1 hour on YouTube.
What?
There is a Zemo dance YouTube video for 1 hour on YouTube.
It's what? Crazy. That's really funny.
Yeah, there are so many memes. Like Zack Snyder, you know, there's a Zack Snyder Justice League cut. Everybody's happy. Marvel releases Zemo dance cut. Everybody completely forget about Zack Snyder's Justice League.
That's really funny. Oh, it was a great movie though. I'm looking forward to the future. Like I said, this is essentially a means to an end. I can forgive everything. I can forgive the giant fucking plot holes and the extremely moody, slow down, like, things. I feel like they do that stuff so often. Also, some of the lines were trash when Steppenwolf was like, oh wait, like let me fight her, she's mine. And then Diana was like, I'm no one. So I was like, okay,
yeah,
sick. He's not saying that he owns you. He's saying he's just gonna fight you one-on-one. What the hell is this line? It was so dumb. That kind of shit, I can forgive it.
Oh man, yeah, okay. So you gotta watch Wonder Woman 1984. You'll love that movie.
Oh my god, yeah. There was another.
It is like
couple
that.
lines
It is like a cheese fest of that kind of lines in that movie. It's crazy.
Oh no! God damn it!
Yeah, it is. It is right there with one of the worst DC movies out there for me. That Wonder Woman 1984.
Really? By the way they made the cover look, I thought it was gonna be a Ragnarok clone, because it was all.
Oh yeah, they tried to be a Ragnarok clone, but man, okay, I can't wait for you to actually watch that movie, because okay. I would go on a rant in so many different topics in that movie. It's insanity. Like you're talking about this particular plot hole in this Josstice League, like those things would be nitpicks compared to what you see in that movie, because
what? Holy shit, okay.
Yeah, the plot hole in that movie is bigger than the supermassive black hole in the center of our galaxy.
Jeez, that's funny. That's hilarious. Honestly, the biggest... That's funny. I thus far, the biggest sin the DC has made, the two biggest ones is the Martha thing and Darkseid forgetting his, like, literally his sole purpose in life. He forgot. He found it and then forgot it. I cannot excuse those as, like, that's just weird. That's like the best
just
word.
Dumb. Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely dumb. It doesn't make much sense.
I can't even say it's dumb. I have to say it's weird because I can't believe that went through editing. I can't believe they looked at this and were like, "Yeah, we should do this." It's like, wait, didn't anyone see this? And you guys did like probably some tests with people. Didn't anyone highlight like, wait. This super powerful dude. You know?
All right. So that particular thing, like you this went through so many eyes and nobody caught this situation. I know I'm bringing Wonder Woman 1984 quite a lot, but there is this one gigantic thing that is there in this movie, which I just look at it like, how the fuck did this pass through so many people that it actually got released with this absolute garbage of a nonsense?
That's so funny. That's how we feel about this Darkseid thing, but that's so funny. Wow, I'll definitely watch it then.
Yeah, just check it out. We'll talk about it, because that's it's like, yeah, there is a serious issue there. Let me tell you that much.
That's funny. Summer loves Gal Gadot, and she said the movie was shit as well, so that's funny.
I see. Yeah, it is okay. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything because I have a lot of ranting to do on that movie. Because
sweet, I'm looking forward to it then.
it is one of the worst movies that I would consider that has come out from DCU, and that is saying a lot because there are so many terrible shit.
That's so funny. All right, well then I'll definitely watch it. As far as coming back to Darkseid and this stuff, Snyder Cut.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty solid overall. I can give it several passes because I just want the foundation to be made. And I know that they're not as mature as MCU for now, so it's pretty sweet. Excited to see what they do, Yeah. After, I can only imagine after, 5-6 years what the DCU will have. Obviously, Marvel's still going to be killing it, I believe. But DC is going to be, right up there, hopefully, so that'll be nice.
I mean, I love a lot of DC stuff, I didn't grow up with any of the Marvel stuff. I grew up with DC animated TV shows and movies and things like that. And any comics that I used to read, it was from DC. None of the people that I grew up with knew anything about Marvel, except maybe Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's a good. I feel like I watched Titans and JLA. That's
exactly. Yeah, JLA and the Titans and also Batman TV show, the animated show.
Yeah. I watched the futuristic one, and I don't know what the other one, the regular one, was called, but yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Good stuff.
And and now it's just like the Marvel. I would love to see both of them having this amazing fucking universe of their own. It's just like I'm not a DC person or Marvel. I just love watching this kind of stuff on the screen.
I also watched a lot of, I watched all the movies. X-Men. X-Men was probably like one of my favorite. That was awesome. X-Men. Fantastic Four was really great too. Watched love those movies. I would watch a lot of Electric Shock. Do you remember that? Or Static Shock? Sorry. Remember that? Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of those things at all. I used to watch a lot of Samurai Jack and
Samurai Jack.
Pokemon. And,
Pokemon's great. Did you watch Shaolin Showdown by any chance?
Feel like I have, but I didn't really. Oh, and I also used to watch a lot of Dungeons and Dragons as well.
Dungeons and Dragons. No, I didn't watch that.
Dungeons and Dragons, or was this called Dungeon Master?
Dungeons and Dragons is D&D is like a board game, right?
It is a board game, but there is a Dungeon Masters or Dungeons and Dragons. There is a TV show.
Fair enough. I used to watch a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, remember? Good times.
But yeah.
Nice.
All right, I guess this has gone far too long.
But yeah, it was good though. It was solid. I can forgive a lot of things. I'm looking forward to the future. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. How much would you give this out of 10?
Yeah, I mean, if the other one was like I'd pretty much never watch it again. So it's like a 4. Anything under a 5 is never watch again. So if it's a 4, I'd give this one like a 7.5.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I mean, for me, the original Josstice League at around 2.5.
Nice.
For me, out of 10.
Yeah.
You have to pay me to watch that movie if I have to ever watch it again.
Yeah.
That is what below 3 means. Like I don't care.
It's fair
at all.
Yeah.
And this one, on the other hand, like with all the improvements, like everything, this one is at around 8.2 for me.
I would give this a higher one if it didn't have some fucking glaring, like giant plot holes like this Dark Side one. It just takes away. It's just stupid. I really hope they have they come out with a banger explanation. Barry somehow went in time 10,000 years and made Darkseid forget. I don't care. Make it make sense. It's ridiculous. The biggest bad in the universe found his the thing he is most wanting and forgot.
Yeah, I mean that is definitely a big thing that I also didn't get in this movie as well. But at the same time, I think, a lot of other things overshadowed for me on this movie. I was just like, the more thing that I think about this movie and so on is like, man, this should have been a real cinematic experience. I would have loved to watch this on a big screen.
That's true. 4 hours. Also, I did not realize that I'm guessing for everyone it was like this square shape.
Mm-hmm.
When I downloaded a few versions.
4:3 aspect ratio.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried a few versions and I was like, what the hell is this? Why is this like this? Because we just got a new TV and I'm like, oh my god, is there something wrong with the TV? Because this is the first thing I watched on it. But yeah.
That was weird, but I didn't see that after maybe a few minutes or so. Yeah. I didn't notice the aspect ratio.
Me neither. I just thought it was the weirdest thing because I thought it'd just be normal 69:9 or whatever the other one was.
I think they showed the disclaimer at the beginning. This is shown in 4.3 to keep the Zack Snyder director's vision on how this movie was originally shot or something like that.
Interesting.
So that's what it said, and I was like, okay, fine, 4:3 it is. And I found
dang it, I should have
kind of weird.
Freaked out for a little bit for that.
Yeah. But it is what it is. It's fine, It doesn't really change much for me in terms of fair. This is great. Like I said, I would say I haven't really firmly set into my rating of 8.2. It is very flexible, fluid right now. It is somewhere between 8.2 and 9.2 for me. It could be anywhere. It could land between any of these two once I watch it maybe a second time or something.
Can't give it above a 9 for me, man. That's too much. It's Wonder Woman's stupidity is like way too high in this movie for all that shit. Aquaman is way too totally inept in order to have a 9.0. Superman is the power difference, the disparity is way too high. Darkseid is way too dumb.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I think those are all valid points. For me, it's just a coolness factor. Would that overshadow anything? The minimum is going to be 8.2, maximum is going to be 9.2, but it's going to be somewhere in between.
Nice.
Is the rating. 9.2 is the maximum it would go to.
Nice.
But it's not going to go below 8.2.
I mean, the characters they have, they're messing with such cool characters in general. You made a good point. The coolness factor is there, and I feel like they're banking off that. I just wish the execution was a little better, because I feel like Marvel just did wonders with characters that I did not find remotely cool. I don't find Ant-Man remotely cool. Ant-Man sucks, okay? However, so funny. I cannot wait for another Ant-Man movie, and I love when he's on screen. Paul Rudd is just fantastic. It's so funny. One of the best.
Exactly.
I feel like one of my favorite Marvel movies was the Ant-Man one. So.
Oh wow, that's a high praise, because Marvel has some pretty good movies.
It's true. I mean, I like a lot of them, but Ant-Man was so funny to me. I just love Paul Rudd. He's so good.
Something similar for me. That same kind of sentiment comes from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like
same.
I did not when they said that we're gonna make Guardians of the Galaxy after the first Avengers, I was like, I don't give a single fuck about this movie.
Same.
I have zero interest, and it turns out it is one of my. If it is not in top 3, it is in top 5 MCU movies for me. You know? It's like, how the fuck did I even care about this? Like, I went back to theaters to watch this movie. I don't know, like 5 times, because I could literally. Yeah, I could watch it literally for free, so I didn't have, because I had Movie Pass back then.
Oh, that's funny.
Once I paid monthly fee, then I could go watch any movies I want, But
nice.
So I watched it so many times. I took a lot of my friends to watch this movie. I had a blast, and like you mentioned, it's just these characters and the stories. They make you care about all of this. It's great. I hope DC gets back on the same track. Like, I'll give Robert Pattinson's Batman a chance, see how it is.
Honestly, he seemed fucking just ferocious in that one trailer. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. This is like dark.
I haven't actually watched the trailer, because I try to avoid this trailer as much as possible.
Oh, well, as far as if I remember, there were no like great spoilers. The most notable part is him beating up someone very passionately. I don't know.
I see.
Yeah.
I mean, Robert Pattinson, I think Twilight being an unfortunate series of movies that he played in, he's a great actor, everything else that I have seen him play in, he's been great, absolutely phenomenal. So I can't wait to see him as Batman, actually. And I don't know if there are a lot of people who actually want to see him as Batman or not, but he's a great actor. He's a great choice for Batman as well. So I would actually love to see his darker version. It's become kind of cringe for me just saying darker version of Batman. It's like, who gives a fuck,
That's funny. Yeah. I gotta say, I'd give him a shot, even though he was in Twilight. I mean, meh. If you can't play other roles, then why are you an actor? I like to give him a shot. And I'll take as many Batman movies as you can give me, as long as you don't fucking cover the parents dying in 15th time. But,
exactly. And you don't resolve the plot line with the Martha, then solid.
That's true. Oh man. Well, yeah. Let's wrap this one up. All right. So long.
Wow, yeah, we did talk for quite long. It's still 1% of how long the Josstice League movie is. So that's cool.
That's a good point, yeah.
All right, so thanks a lot, guys, for watching.
Yeah,
we love talking about this. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Did you like the movie? And we'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you like that video, give that like button a click, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot.
See you guys.